Hi, good evening. Steve Adler. Got a minute? Let's go through some of the numbers here as we begin the week on the dashboards. It's going to be fast tonight, but we'll get to talk about a little bit what's going to happen tomorrow night and on Wednesday night, where we'll talk about progress and an update on what's happening in the Hispanic community, still of great concern and illustrative of disparate impact, as well as conversation about the rental relief program that the city's launching, so that folks that might be helpful. A little over $13 million going out to help people pay their rent, help landlords get some rent checks. But first, let's begin tonight with the dashboards. First dashboard up is the one that we start with hospitalizations. It's down at 27. That's a number that, as you can see in the graph, pretty flat here for a while, trending down a little bit. Not as great as we were trending down before. You can see the 7-day running average is 33, but at 27 we're below that, and that's a good thing. Number of new cases, 265. That's higher than the 7-day running average. That number of 265 has some anomalies built into that. We send in testing. State gets testing, not from us, but from folks in the Austin area that are doing tests. They turn those into the state. It goes through a state process. The state's been changing up their process on their end. And they apparently gave us the results of 2,000 tests this weekend, some going back to April. So we're trying to check those tests, make sure that they're not duplicates to ones that we have already counted. So we're going through each one of those one at a time. And then reporting some of those test results as we continue forward. So that 265 has some of those tests that go back a while associated with this dump of information from the state. So the 265 probably is a little bit high. Look at the mint colored numbers in the middle. Hospitalization, 250 is the 7-day running average. We have 236 in our hospitals tonight. ICU 90 is our 7-day running average, 83 in ICUs tonight. Ventilators, 7-day running average 62, and we have 54 on ventilators tonight. So each one of those elements, we're continuing to trend in the right direction with numbers that are lower than the 7-day running average. That's a good thing as we continue to trend downwards. 265 cases, doubling time is 89. Let's go to the next dashboard. So with those new cases, we're at 24,409 total cases. The recoveries, 23,144. We had about 350 recoveries in that number here today. The green numbers are the numbers that you saw were the daily numbers. Anita, do we have any other graphs we're showing today? All right, this is from the University of Texas. This is the study that's done by the modeler. And I wanted you to see this. It shows an R that is just over 1. What we're seeing right now with this kind of flattening plateau is that R number. Remember, we want to stay below 1. That means the infection is getting smaller in the community. Above 1, that means people are giving it to more people than just one. So it's going to continue to grow. And we keep bouncing up, just above 1, just below 1. But that's why the probability that the epidemic is growing is now at 54%. It's a higher number that reflects that up and down as we stay right on the bubble. The 14-day change, only a 13% decrease in infections. But take a look at that chart. That's the one that looks like the kind of the cartoon chart on that first dashboard. Green is the actual numbers, and you can see as we get toward where we are now how more dispersed that pattern is. Numbers significantly above the green line, significantly below the green line. When that happens, you have a line that pretty much goes flat out. You have the little gray lines, the light gray lines, both above and beyond. So there's a lot of uncertainty as to where we are right now, even though the numbers have gone down. This is that plateau range. If something happens in the community on Labor Day and a lot of people go out and have barbecues or parties, gather in ways that we're not gathering now, gather the way we did on Memorial Day, not on Independence Day. But if we were to do that, we would be back up in the orange zone pretty quickly. We have the students that are coming back today to the university. About 11,000 already here, about 15,000 that look like they're going to be arriving. The university is spending a lot of time with the students, trying to make sure that they understand the safety and health issue in the community. But we're going to have to hope and trust that they come back into the community supportive of what the community is doing. These are the numbers that we need to drive down if we're going to actually hope to keep schools open, and if we're going to be trying to open more businesses. The choices that I make for me are all about trying to get some certainty with schools, opportunities with businesses, and the other kinds of things I'm not doing in terms of gatherings and the like, just to try and get us to drop below that plateau space. Do we have any of Dr. Escott's charts, Anita? If we are, we'll take a look at those. Again, the yellow is the 7-day running average. The blue shows the numbers. This is new admissions. And you can see that shows us kind of flattening out there. And do we have another chart? This is the hospital, the ICU, and the ventilators, all three on the same deal. The hospitalizations coming down. Ventilators and ICUs also coming down, but kind of flattening out. So we have to continue the work that we're doing. We're going to talk in greater detail about how those numbers get changing depending on the subgroup in the community, looking at it by race and by ethnicity. We're seeing some encouraging numbers in that regard, but still overall, still the challenge because we're dealing with the historical inequities and discrimination, which has left a particular populations in our city more susceptible to the virus. A lot of the programs and the efforts in the city, as it has been, trying to deal with those numbers. But we'll go into depth. We'll have someone here from Community Care to go through those numbers, taking a look at the Latinx community. I want to remind you that the city's Economic Development Department announced the Austin Creative Worker Relief Grant. It's a $3.5 million fund. It's providing $2,000 grants to help Austin's creative sector workers offset expenses like rent and bill and groceries. Applications opened today. And it's going to close on Friday, August 28th. So you have 2 weeks to apply. Visit atxrecovers.com. You can preview the application and review eligibility requirements, frequently asked questions, and get additional details. The city is constantly looking for new ways to provide relief to people that are struggling through the economic upheaval that is this COVID-19. In the next couple of days, I think tomorrow, we're going to go into a deep dive, as I said earlier, about the rental assistance that's being offered. And if you know anybody in Washington and Congress, you should tell them to get their act together so they can come back and help with more support for workers, for unemployment, so that they can focus a real direct attention on restaurants and bars and the service industry, those things in our community that are getting hurt worse than other areas. Those things that were hurt the first and will probably be the last to come out of this virus. As an aside, I wanted to talk real quickly here about the Austin Redistricting Commission. It needs your help. You know, when Austin voted in 2012 to create 10 city council districts, part of the agreement was that there would be an independent commission of just everyday citizens, and they would redraw the lines for those districts with every new census. That means every 10 years. And we want that commission that's drawing those lines to be just as diverse as possible, just a true representation of the city. The more perspectives that the process takes into account, the better the ultimate product is going to be. So the auditor's office is specifically looking for more female applicants and more applicants of color that would volunteer to do that. So far, 74% of the qualified applicants for the commission are white, and 66% of those are male. Only 3% are black and 11% Latino. So people can find more information and apply to serve on the commission. We ran the banner just a second ago. Please consider that if it's something that you think you might want to do. One of the eventual, there's the banner, one of the eventual 14 members of the commission has to be a college student. So if you're a college student, you can apply as well. And we want to work really hard to try and make that commission just a true reflection of our city. All right, we're going to conclude by looking at the mailbag here. We're looking at Zoe, who is 2. She's been spending the quarantine doing a daily FaceTime to her OPA and to her Grosse Oma. That's her great grandmother, both of whom live in Toronto. Her Grosse Oma is 100 years old. They love to see the progress that she is making right now to ride her bicycle. Here is Zoe proudly riding her bicycle. She wears a mask when she rides to protect people along the path that she might be running into. Congratulations! I'm sure you're making great progress on that bicycle. Thanks for sending in the pictures, and thank you so much for wearing a mask and being such a good example to everybody. And with that, I wish you all a good night. You all take care and be safe.